You are being called to live in peace, on purpose, with passion and prosperity. But you can't do that if you haven't unlearned the crap. The crap that is disempowering you. The crap of conditioned responses and automatic programming. And that's what we're here to do. So that you can level up because you know your soul is calling. Welcome to Unlearn the Crap and Level Up TV with your host, Kathy Baldwin. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Unlearn the Crap and Level Up. Your soul is calling. My name is Kathy Baldwin, and I am your host. On today's episode, we're going to do another episode of Kathy Unplugged for the week. This isn't just a podcast episode because this is a line in the sand. In 7 weeks from today, I'm going to turn 60 years old, and I have never felt more ready to start the life that I was actually born to live, not the one that I was programmed for. I'm ready to step into the life that my soul came here to create. And so right now, I'm standing in the space between my breakdown and my breakthrough, another level of my leveling up, in the messy, squishy, uncomfortable space that nobody wants to talk about. This is the place where everything feels like it's falling apart. And yet somehow I know that it's truly a really coming together. We are in a paradigm shift where the old world of survival and silence and sacrifice is collapsing. That was my old world, and I have stepped away from it. And if you're not evolving as well, I'm pretty sure that you're being pulled under, that the currents of the old paradigm are holding you stuck in place. I believe that what we are finding ourselves in is not a crisis, it's a calling. And today, I declare to all of you that I am fully answering my call. So let me ask you, what's the pain that you've been carrying? Is it actually your prophecy? You know, I talk about the universal law of polarity. And on the other side of our challenges shows us our zone of genius. That messy place in the middle when we're turning from our challenge, when we see it, when we acknowledge it, when we become aware of it, and we turn and we pivot towards our zone of genius until we're locked and loaded. That is the messy, uncomfortable space that so many of us find ourselves in, including me. So I'm asking you, what if you're not breaking down, but it's actually your soul's way of helping you to break open? This is my becoming, and maybe it might be yours too. Let me share with you where I am right now as a way of living full transparency and vulnerability. I lived my entire life as a successful corporate person. I had all of the trappings of everything that we had deemed as a successful life. I had a great career. I had money in the bank. I traveled. I had a beautiful home, cars, children. Everything was as it was supposed to be in that picket fence idealized world. But I was lost and I was breaking. And I had my full breakdown moment, as you are all aware of if you've paid any attention as you are all aware of, if you've been a part of my journey, whether it's been through my books of Unlearn the Crap and Level Up, Your Soul is Calling, my how-to book, or my How I Unlearned My Crap book, where I share my personal story, or even through these podcasts or any of my keynote speaking. You know, I had a breakdown. And I am in the process of doing my pivot. I'm not 100% at the 180. It does sometimes feel scary. It does sometimes feel like it's taking forever. I have doubts. I have questions. I wonder, am I truly living my soul's alignment? Am I clearing all of the ancestral traumas? Am I breaking the chains? I wonder, is it all worth it? Because I can tell you, it's been difficult. And that's an understatement. My body is still healing in this moment right now as I'm talking to you. I am being very cognizant of what I put into my body as food and nutrition. And I am making sure that I'm journaling everything. I'm bringing the inflammation down. I can feel the inflammation coming down. I can feel my clothes fitting better as some of the weight that I've been carrying is shedding. I'm back in the pool, but unfortunately today when I was swimming, the pool was very cold. And so when I was finished swimming, I had a mild fibromyalgia attack. These are part of the unlearning that my body is going through now that my mind and my heart are so much farther along. There is so much that is happening. There are so many synchronicities and callings that are happening. And there's so many questions that I'm going through. Today, I'm going to share with you a very synchronistic moment that happened to me. But before I do, I want to talk about what I see on a global stage. We are in a massive, massive paradigm shift. The world has been operating under a system of control and power to the smallest minority at the expense of the majority. We've lived in a very strong patriarchal society where we have been controlled and put into a place of conformity. Our education system was designed to fuel our workplace so that we could become duplicatable, replaceable, and all be the same. All of these systems are changing, they're breaking, and it is messy and ugly in every area of our life. We are in a massive time of AI and robotics and automation. There's confusion as to the roles of who we're supposed to be, both as humans within this workforce, as well as men and women. How we show up as our true gender, as how do we show up as our true empowerment? There is so much that is bubbling to the surface. And while I believe that automation and robotics and AI are going to replace the majority of our manual repetitive tasks that most of our jobs were designed for. We're seeing that now in one area, which is computer programming. Computer programmers, the majority of those jobs are gone forever. They're never, ever coming back. There are still the low entry level jobs in that profession. And they're saying that the call for the extreme high end of that is still available. but everything in the middle is being replaced by AI and technology. So where does that leave us? Well, we either adapt and evolve or we perish. And as I'm going through my own transformation and I'm finding my own way, I'm trying to find a way to incorporate this new technology into my own personal evolution. Because I believe that this time and space gives each and every one of us the ability to be our most humanness, with imagination and creativity, with connections and collaborations, where we bring our love and our empathy and our problem solving to not only our world and our community, but the world as a collective. So what happened to me today? How did I incorporate my own personal journey with my beliefs of what is happening on a geopolitical, societal level? I like to scroll and watch videos of other people. I like to listen to podcasts. I like to learn something new and see other perspectives. I like to see what bubbles up for me. And so today I got a message on one of the videos that said that if you were have one of these numbers into your numerology, that you have a karmic debt to repay. The curious Gemini that I am, I wanted to know more because one of those numbers was the date of my birthday. And so when I went through the numerology, I'm born on the 14th. And when I added up all of my birth numbers, it came to a total of 14, which when I then added it together, I came with my life number of a number 5. So I have a double 14, which is supposed to be a major karmic debt. I wondered, would this karmic debt that I was carrying have anything to do with the amount of challenges and traumas and stresses and losses that I have lived the majority of my life? Was this actually purposeful and meaningful? And the answers that I found were yes. But I wanted to know more. So how did I do it? I went to ChatGPT and I put in all the information and all of my questions, and I asked it to guide me. So between my input, my insights, my thoughts, my beliefs, and the structure of AI, I was able to see the bridge connections between what is known in numerology and astrology of my birth date and the connections to what I have been living. I gave ChatGPT the information through my books and podcasts and my thoughts and feelings in answering questions. And together with AI, we collaborated and I was able to get clarity. I was able to see where I was coming into alignment and where there was still work to be done. And so I got really excited and thought, this is not the podcast that I was planning on recording today. But I knew I had to share this because as I'm turning 60, I know I am in a major birthing stage of my life. The metaphor that I've been using for the last 6 months or so is that I feel like I'm in the birthing canal. It's hard. It's painful. I'm being squeezed from all directions. I am scared of what is on the other side, but I'm excited because I know I can't go back. The back where I was doesn't exist anymore and I don't fit there anymore. But I don't know where I'm going. I just have thoughts and feelings and ideas and concepts of the dreams that I've been carrying And I'm starting to let them bubble to the surface so that I can see and feel them and touch them and actually put some faith and movement and momentum behind them. One of the things that I was always told was I love words. I excelled in English. I excelled in any topic that required writing. I used to write poetry and I would write short stories. And so the power of word has always been important to me. I could write letters that would enact change in my environment, in my government. I would use the power of my words to create movement in my world. And where things in my personality traits or my astrology or any of those other systems that we use to help guide us and show us insight and clarity into who we are and where we fit and where we belong, it always came up that I should be a journalist. And I would always poo-poo that. Journalist? No, that's not the life I wanted. I didn't want to write news. I didn't want to do any of that. It occurred to me that I am living a new definition of journalism right now. I'm living it through this podcast that I've created. I'm living it through the books that I write. I'm living it through all the times that I'm out speaking and sharing. I'm living it through aligning with my authentic power, which is my words, my feelings, my experiences, my knowledge, my curiosity, my love of questions, and digging deeper to find root cause. I am now beginning to live in synchronicity of who I am. And today, just before I logged into my video room to record this podcast, I came across a quote that was posted on my webpage or on the webpage of my video room. And it was a quote from Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, who, by the way, I had no idea who he was until after I was through my healing journey. And at that time, I was so afraid to learn more about him because I was afraid that people would think I was copying him and that everything that I had learned and come to know would be seen as that I was taking something from him because I felt so aligned to every word he said. Our journeys were so parallel, but he didn't hit my world until after I went through the deepest part of my healing journey. So this quote is from him. The hardest part about change is not making the same choices you made the day before. That hit me. That hit me hard because I realized that while I'm doing everything I can to change my own life, there's still a part of the old version of me, the old overgiving, the old self-sacrificing, the old people pleasing patterns that are still there. I can see in retrospect where those old patterns are still existing. And I see the pain and discomfort they give me because I've come so far along in my healing growth journey, but I'm not all the way there yet. I'm still in the process of becoming. And so today when I saw that quote and realized that I had done some deep spiritual introspection work with the collaboration and cooperation of AI, I chose something new today. I chose to share with you my journey in the exact moment that I'm feeling and experiencing it, rather than go back in hindsight and leave enough space between the becoming, the realizations, the epiphanies, and the moment. Today, I invite you to do the same. We are in a huge shift. You are in a huge shift. I am in a huge shift. My philosophy for my business and my life is what I have named a 4X win. And a 4X win means it's a win for me. For the very first time in my life, I'm putting myself first on the list. I have to declare it. I have to remind myself of it. Because as I undo old patterns of self-sacrificing and putting everyone first, I need to remind myself that I've made a choice and a decision, that I am responsible for my life. I am responsible for my choices and my actions and my realities. I own that. And I can only do that when I put the responsibility of myself first in line. Because otherwise, I'm giving that responsibility away to someone else. And there's no empowerment in there. That is where we live as victims of circumstance. And so my very first win is a win for me. My second win is a win for you. The person I'm talking to, the person I'm involved with, the person I'm connecting with. I want as much for you as I want for myself. I truly do. Because I believe that the power of coming together will make things even greater than if we were just doing them by ourselves. And between you and I, the third win is our communities, our families, our businesses, our collaborations. That is the third win. And with all three of us in unity and collaboration and cooperation and community, we will do the most important of the 4X wins, which is a win for the collective good. And so as I was going through this process today of identifying where I'm in alignment and where I'm not, I asked a question and I got a very simple answer. Does my collaboration community fit with my authentic karmic debt repayment? And the answer is a resounding yes. When I created my Unlearn the Crap collaborative community, I did it with the vision where we could all join together and declare, this is my zone of genius. I love to talk. I love to learn. I love to experience and experiment and challenge. And I bring that zone of genius to what I'm doing, my podcast, my books, my coaching programs, and my community. And I'm encouraging everyone to find their unique zone of genius and own it, declare it. Not be bashful, not think you're being selfish or that you are being, what is that word when we think we're being conceited or self-centered? No. Owning your zone of genius is owning a fact. Yes, this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm passionate about. This is my place in the universe. This is what I bring to give. But on the other side of where our zone of genius is, like with the universal law of polarity, are our challenges. And we know that everything has a polar opposite. So denying that we have challenges and thinking that we're supposed to have all the answers, we're supposed to do it all, be it all by ourselves, is a direct disconnection from our true empowerment and the way the universe actually works. So I encourage everyone in my community to actually step up and say, this is where my challenges are. This is where I'm struggling. This is the next step that I need for my next step to level up. Because I guarantee you that someone's zone of genius is on the exact place where your challenges are. And when we can stand up and declare both and own them both, now we are creating a true collaborative community. So I encourage you to go and join my collaborative community. It is still grassroots. It is still fresh, where we have really intimate, small communities where we can talk. I encourage you to join. I've made this community a very low introductory price of $22.22 a month. I did that on purpose because it's not about creating huge income and taking away. It's about sharing and collaborating. It's about you making a commitment to the process where you bring your zone of genius. And I encourage you to share that within that collaborative community where you can create connections to create multiple streams of income. I've also connected a lot of amazing experts. Many of those experts have been on my podcast. People that I believe in, people that I've curated, that I can refer you to with a service that I created called the Unlearn the Crap Collaborative Community Concierge Call. No sales. I'm not there to sell anything. I'm there to do what I'm doing here. Get to know you, share who you are, what you need, and how I can support you. So I encourage you to go to my website, kathybaldwin.me, find the collaborative community, join us, set up your introductory call. Let's talk. Let me help you. Let's be part of the process of coming together in true collaboration and community. I'm going to share with you some of the dreams that I see happening. I see this as a part of a major movement. I see the fact that my voice, my experiences, my karmic debt, ending this cycle is part of my purpose, which is one of the founding principles of everything I do, including the collaborative community. Purpose, passion, peace, and true prosperity for all. I encourage you to join me. Join me in the shift. Join me in the movement. Join me in the becoming by unlearning the crap that has kept you disempowered and stuck and trapped. You are not behind. You are becoming. If you are in the big mess, in the ugly turmoil, you're in the middle of the bridge and you just got to keep going. You know that song? If you find yourself in hell, keep going before the devil knows you're there. Keep going, don't get stuck. But if you're in the place where it's complacent, you're not quite alive, things are not quite what they should be. You feel disconnect. You feel a calling, a yearning, but you can't understand it. You're at the beginning, and that's good. Awareness is the first step. I just did a podcast yesterday where it was all about the process of unbecoming what you are, the unlearning of the crap. And I talked about how we can recognize that step of awareness into becoming who we next are. This is not my mission. This is not a solo mission. This is a movement that each and every one of us around the world are being called to do. And I ask that you join me. I ask that you join my community. I ask that you connect with me. I ask that we do this together, that we do it differently. We do it with the 4X win philosophy. We do it to create peace, passion, purpose, and prosperity. I didn't record this podcast just to speak my truth. Although if the camera's caught it, you've probably caught that my eyes are moist because I am in this very raw, vulnerable moment as I'm recording. I did record it to be part of breaking my karmic debt, my contracts, of being silent, of not sharing my voice, of scarcity and sacrifice, of living of lack, of giving away everything that I had and not honoring the life that I was given. Every single word I say is one of my bold, brave steps of stepping into my own sovereignty. And every episode that I record of this podcast is part of the new world that we are building together. If this message stirred you in any way, I invite you to take the next step in unlearning the crap that's disempowered and kept you stuck and in complacency, and start to step into your empowerment and become. I ask that you subscribe to this podcast and give me a 5-star review. That's the contribution that you can give that spreads the word of this movement. It is what tells the universe that you have declared, yes, this is for me. Yes, I believe in this. Yes, I want this. Yes, I want more. It is a small act that costs nothing, but it does so much for you. It does so much for me, and it does so much for the world out there. I love seeing the 5-star reviews growing. I love seeing how the podcast is exponentially growing faster and faster, and this movement is catching on. I love to be a part of this here with you. The second thing I ask is that you join the collaborative community. Let's bring it from the energetic of this voice in space and your ears in another space. And let's get into a collaborative community where we can connect together. It is only $22.22 a month. Less than a cup of coffee a week. But it is a bold, brave step in aligning the synchronicities of your zone of genius becoming your major gift to the world. And then book a call with me. Reach out if you have any speaking engagements, or if you want to collaborate, or you want to be a guest interview on the podcast. I'm building a bridge, a movement. It's part of my journey. It's part of our journey. This is more than a podcast. It's my prayer. It's my portal. And today I walk through it with you as my witness. My name is Kathy Baldwin, and you've just been listening to another Kathy Unplugged moment segment of the Unlearn the Crap and Level Up podcast, because your soul is calling. I cannot wait to see where we go next, and I can't wait to meet you. Thank you. Have an amazing day. Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Unlearning Curve. I hope you enjoyed it. If something landed for you today, make sure to follow, like, comment, and share, and check out all the other full interviews and other episodes of Unlearn the Crap and Level Up podcast, where you'll find deeper conversations, expert guests, and real stories from people just like you who are unlearning their crap and choosing clarity. Visit me at kathybaldwin.me and get all my free resources. Check out my coaching programs as well as my books. Until next time, keep showing up, keep unlearning, and keep leveling up because your soul is calling.